family is an epitome of God's love towards mankind. God designed us to live in families, and the Bible reveals that family relationships are important to Him.
But as a believer, do you feel that you are still struggling?
Maybe you're still struggling with your relationship,
Struggling with your finances?
struggling at work,
With your social life?
or with your spiritual life.
We invite you to join us
On our Family Table Talk every Saturday,
at 7:30 a.m. on my TV.
or catch us on our Facebook page.
Bulavinaka, and welcome to the Family Table Talk every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. We would like to say greetings and Bulavinaka, all the way from Vitilevu here in Turaki in Suva. And welcome to everybody that are tuning in from all over the world globally. We would like to say thank you. Well, like this last Saturday, we were actually in San Rafael at the Embassy Suite with the forum that we had, really blessed with Tauri and Auntie Francis, as well as part of the program for last week. And here, and it's so good to be back in this beautiful country called Fiji Islands. Nothing compared to that country. And we would like to also welcome you that are just listening to our down to the Western of the events. In the year, and not only it indicates the season, it also indicates to us the coming to the end of 2023 and the end of this year in Canada. Bulavinaka, to Taltalpoate and Randini, and to all the children and all the families out there that we may not be able to mention, and all your 5 children. When we were there in Winnipeg and staying there, it's nice. You forget about the whole world, and you not only in Winnipeg, but for those that are in the vast area of Canada, that we were not able to be planning to include Canada still for next year's schedule. So we look and more in Canada that may feel or forgotten. Vancouver, I believe, the other things that are happening with that. In numbers to every the organizers, really grateful, Vinaka NCF USA for that effort, and also the commitment on your part to make it happen, that enable other people. And also trainers. San Francisco for your Thanksgiving, but for you to be able to pop in and be part of the program, we stand today to say thank you for that commitment, and thank you for popping in, and thank you also on how you have but also we would like to stand today. Dinner that was seated. Big crabs and seafood. Thank you for your sitting on that night's dinner. And not only that, thank you for the coffee pounds or coffee money that we stand today to say thank you. At the airport as well, both in it's time to thank you for coming.
We have
This way to say farewell It's time to say thank you so much for that commitment as well. Well, to those of you that are tuning in this morning, as normal, we want to talk about family items, family things. Beautiful setup. They gave. We would like to take this time to thank you for the efforts.
Koro and will dabi and a program katalang kina we koro donan raw di sa bulga tolu natikinen donan raw di sa bulga lima sabo kan bulat na kena bi barabi wa bulat na kena bi toka mataga kan bulare bisa kinda begitu kan matagan di sekan indai family table talk namun na namadongo utigo weekenda ana si lagi na toso pagmora utagiti ko na moni ang bagingo so weekend sana di ko may natakadaka so weekend na wito sa tosaki we kormo kabiti tumeka na nabunabu na kauni mata ni ngone simende ni bulbulu na we record sa sama kin elimutan na kado baka dorito na baka mau na tebu elimu na kado tu baka tiki and malio ni sin sudu kina tawasin yang baki kero baka bulan tuani na ngono binango family table talk sa baka ni tagituan na bula and singa binanga ni ko so baka weekend na may papalangi sa ada tukumay na may sinsudo patikir na may kamuni vitilebu sebunolebu sana may korkor se so weekend na sa baka na magiti ko moningolan ni papalangi le sinsudo papalangi sa baka do tagituan na loloma kina baka ni binaka and bulan Disember ngo utuoti ni bula and baki runa undolu rosa ulgatulu to those of you that are tuning in non-night okay speakers, we take this time to say Bula Binaka and saying hello to the topic that we'll go through. Very general and sometimes some lesson learned and some very beneficial to us as we discuss the family table talk 7:30 every Saturday morning.
Well, we have been talking about a lot of things, I believe, and on health, on life habits, relationship between husband and wife, relationship within a family, nuclear, extended, a lot of interaction maybe in the office, the bonding that you have with your children or grandchildren, a lot of other things. And sometimes life can be so busy that we don't even notice or we don't even give thought to these important things that can help or contribute to, a better living and a better family. And one thing that, because we also go to church and we look after ministry, one thing that I've always emphasized in the family, we usually have our leaders training every Monday, and I try to make it a point every Monday to share something on the family value. Because we believe for anything and everything that you do, at the end of the day, you go back to your family. And whatever that you're doing, you are driven by the love you have for your family. When you are working so hard, you want a better living and good life for your family. And sometimes we get carried away with everything else that we are doing. We forget about the very thing that give us purpose or give us the objective for us to go out and do that. Because I speak for myself. In everything that I do, apart from being part of the church and being part of this ministry that I'm part of, my family is priority to me. I value my family. And growing up, I have very high family values. And studying my family, I never changed that value until today. I'm a grandmother, I have grandchildren. Never a time that I've really neglected my family or walk away from my family or emphasize or pick on things around me or begin to look at my friends and social life and other things around me to be more important than my family. My family is always very important to me and very privy. And that is why I'm always enjoying the talk on family, because I believe we are slowly losing the value that our family should or must have in every individual. And when you don't have that value within you, then it gives you room to do whatever you want to do because you no longer feel accountable to the people that you value in life. And sometimes we are so selfish in our desire that we follow whatever that whatever our desire takes us to in the lust, that we fail to acknowledge the fact that what matters most, our family, are the very people that we're hurting the most. And that is why, like, this family talk is very, I would say, important to me in that direction. Because it, one way or the other, at least someone is saying something about family that in the secular or whatever programs that we're watching and the things that we're doing, they're sort of moving away from the importance of having family life. And people are more into, very ambitious. Sometimes you're so ambitious, like you don't need families around you. Or sometimes you say that you don't really need people around you because you can afford your life. And also you are very independent. And no one can stop us by doing that. But on the other hand, that feeling sort of, become the general feeling around the office or around the workplace, which means if work are delegated and things that are planned for the company, there's no consideration that these humans or these staff or these people, they have a family behind them. And sometimes when we're leading a company or when we are managing a company or when we have a business, we are so, wrapped up with the fact that we need to profit or we need to make ends meet or we need to make it happen, that we forget that the people that are helping you or working in your company also have families around them. And sometimes, because it's not our problem, like we couldn't tell us what happened to their family anyway, that's a general feeling. And when we push people to go that way, the staffs themselves or the people that work under your leadership, they begin to lose that value of their family because they're so focused to work with you to achieve what you want to achieve. It can be not only for business, it can also be in the church. You're so focused to achieve the things in the church, and you forget about these people or these church members or these leaders. They are your senior pastors or pastors. They also have family, and they also need to have time with their families, and they also need to show their family that they, that they value much, and that is, it's very important. Every now and then we need to stand still and review the way that we're living our life, whether how much are we losing out on our family because we are focused on the things around us. On the outside, if you're looking, we are doing very well in our work. We're getting promoted, money is good, everything is good. We are investing well. You are, buying properties or owning things like your wealth, it looks good. But if you pick a peep or a peek into your family, then if the family is stable and still, rise up with you in the into the area that you have gauged those level of achievement, there are no problems. But if you are achieving all these things and then lacking and losing your family, then I believe it's time for, for a review or a time for you to stand still and just take a step back and relook at the, at how you're doing things. I mean, there's no other time than this because we're coming towards the end of the year. It's just a quick look throughout 2023 and how you have managed and how you have lived your life. For me, it's quite easy. When I look back, I say I lacked in a few things because for this year, our programs for the church is quite very intact and very busy in terms of going around in the regions within Fiji and traveling. Then I leave my family quite a fair bit. But I try to make it up by calling them. I try to make it up by talking to them on the phone, wherever I am. So when I look back for this year, I haven't really sit down to write down the elements or the areas that I felt that I lack or I could improve. But I believe that I can find ways that I need to improve in ways that I believe that it's available, but I didn't use it or make the most of it to continue to have my family with me at all times. When there is an event and my family join me, I'm at peace knowing, at least half of my family is with me or some of my family members is with me. But if I can take my whole lot of my family, I'm glad to do that because not only I get to achieve what is projected to be achieved for that event, but I also achieve it together with my family in the fellowship of my children and also my grandchildren. And that is one thing that sometimes when we are so focused in the things we do, we thought that our family are good enough with the food that we place on the table, the roof above their heads, and the clothes on their body, and for them to be content with that. Yeah.
And, most of the time we focus on our achievement, on the outside things. And by doing that, we are automatically cutting off from the connection of our family. While talking on the family, I take this time to say happy birthday to Elijah.
Yeah.
2nd of December, normally every year we celebrate his birthday, and he's our only son. So happy birthday, Elijah. And,
happy birthday, and it just happened to be on Esther.
On Esther.
Our church is actually on an Esther program, Esther fasting program that started yesterday. And it's amazing. The kitchen was so quiet. I believe the kitchen will be saying, what happened to us? Kitchen was so quiet yesterday, and the whole day yesterday, and last night, and this morning, very quiet, and very unusually quiet. And it really gives you also, you know, like it indicates on how you're so busy with what you eat. So when you are fasting, sometimes you don't really know what to do with your life. You're either making a coffee or tea, or you're doing something in the midst of doing everything.
It shows that most of the time we are using for ourselves.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to eating, food or drinking. If we look back, like yesterday, no, it was very quiet. Yeah. Nobody go to the fridge, and nobody.
Quiet.
Yeah,
it's like no one was at home.
Like we got nothing to do. We can't use our time well, because we start to realize that most of the time we use it on food.
Yeah.
Yeah. We either sitting having food. We go to town. We end up in a eatery place or even a coffee shop. Most of the time we got to do with drinking and eating. And imagine when we have this Esther fasting. For those of you that maybe you don't know what is Esther fasting. Esther fasting is a fasting that was taken from the Bible, the book of Esther, when they go into no food and no drinking for 3 days and 3 nights. So we started yesterday and today and tomorrow. And no food, no drinking, and the time that you have with you. You wake up in the middle of the night.
So much time on your hands.
And because of the fasting, even you feel light. When you sleep, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you wake up again without even the alarm clock. You feel light, and it shows that food and drinking, food and drinks, it got to do with the functions of your body. So when your body is light, you are light too. When your body is heavy because of what you take in, then you are heavy too.
Yeah, it's been great, and I believe for all NCFers out there in the world, thank you for the fasting, and thank you for the commitment. I'm really grateful for that. But go back to Elijah Charity of Fire, Vulaono. His birthday is always falling on the 2nd of December, and most of the time it's on Esther fasting. Most of the time, most of the years they are on Esther fasting, or there is a fasting happening, and I cannot really celebrate it. So thank you, Elijah, for the last 29 years. Yeah, we've been really blessed with Elijah's life, turning 29 today, I believe.
Yeah.
And thank you for everything that you have done, and being the only son of our lives. We are grateful to have you. You have a testimony on its own from birth, and it's always a testimony is still alive, because that testimony of having you has become a testimony to other women.
So many people
who have also experienced the same. So 29 years of blessing our life, and not only that, you have blessed us with your wife and also your 2 beautiful children, with Cheronate, Sunny, Elijah Cheronate, and like Kayla, Katie, Miracle, Vulaono. So thank you, Nate, for loving my son and for being part of his life. We are so grateful to have you as part of our family. And yet, once again, happiest, and the most happier birthday, 29th birthday to you, Elijah. So thank you for today.
Yeah.
Well, and that not only for Elijah, it goes for everybody that are celebrating their birthday on the 2nd of December, or any other person that have celebrated their birthday yesterday as well. Happy birthday. Or even for the month of December, happy birthday. You know, it's so nice to have your birthdays in December because it's like leading up to all the festivities and celebration. There's always a lot of eating, a lot of partying, and a lot of drinking. You know, it's like a month of celebration to most. And having your birthday, it's like your birthday is happening every weekend. Well, for this birthday, it's a birthday with a difference. All of us are Esther fasting, and we'll be breaking fast
on Sunday.
Tomorrow, which is on Sunday, the 3rd day of December. So thank you once again to all of you NCFers out there on the fasting program. Well, back to the season that we're approaching. I believe most of us, we are planning our December. Hopefully that you people begin to plan not only from the beginning of the year, try and plan your December, plan your season, or plan your celebration. Because when you don't plan, when things come out without you planning, like it just throw your budget in disarray. And not only that, it muck up the whole thing that you anticipate that it's going to be done. But now with everything that has come without you planning, then it sort of like becomes an extra or become an additional, thing to be looked at. So for those of you that have managed to save for the year, whatever that you have managed to save, like I remember saying it from the beginning of the year, and I will say it again this month, and I will say it again at the beginning of 2024. When the year begins, try and allocate an account that you know that you always have your celebration in December for Christmas or any other things that you do, that you can put those money aside, which means whatever that you can save from that month, or save from the weekend, or save from the fortnight or the week salary, that you are saving towards the season. Whatever that's going to be happening in December and your plan for your family or joining your extended members of the family, you have money allocated and set aside from the beginning. And that goes for your festive season. If you have done that and now you have arrived to December and you know you are good, everything is planned and everything is well catered for, congratulations, you've managed to do that. But for those of us who have not managed to do that, I would set aside some funds to do that. Some, or maybe most of you, have got good payroll in terms of sometimes you get bonuses in the company, or sometimes you get a Christmas payout, whatever it is that is being given out from your company. That can also help towards what you're planning for your family or for your Christmas. But for those of you that have planned out to take your family, I always feel that December, like beginning of the year, for you to plan to take your family out. Maybe just for 2 days. Even when you're living within Fiji, you can go down to the Western Division, pay for a place economically, for 2 days, and spend some valuable time together. And allow your children or your grandchildren to enjoy the moments and just get your attention, with undivided attention, either to the church for us or to any other person popping in and out of the house, or the company phone, continuously ringing to get your attention. I give that undivided attention to your family, just to thank them for the year, because most of us wouldn't be able to do what we have done, won't be able to achieve what we have achieved if not for the support from our family. Maybe this is the time for you to stand still and say to your family, thank you for your support, and thank you for your contribution that had enabled me to do well in my workplace and helped me to achieve what I had designed to achieve. I would like to take this time to thank you. So try and plan. If you're not able to do that this year, please put it in your pencil it in your diary for next year. You must take your family out. Don't also wait until the end of the year. Try and do something in the media. Maybe during the school holidays. Try and grab your family out for 2 to 3 days, or if you can afford it, 1 week. Try and have those moments just to spend time together, talk to them, and just have their family moment. It's not through virtual or Zooming or passing through home that has become a house that provides shelter, not a home that has provided that bonding of a homely family. And those are the little things that we can stand still today and look back and review. What have we done? How have your year gone through? Have you been in and out of the house because you're so busy with your work? Or have you had the time to sit with your family and have a good talk every weekend, or a good Sunday lunch, or a good Saturday night, whatever it is, whatever work and whatever is practical and relatable to your family, try and pick that and take it as a strength for your family moving forward, as long as you have that time together. That is very important. So go back to the budget. If you have budgeted for that, then good. If you have not, then try and project your income for the remaining weeks to come, whether you're getting it fortnightly or weekly or monthly. Whatever pay there is to come, you write it down. Whatever projections you need to do to cover for the month of December, also for the month of January, you need to pencil it out now, because that way it will help you to to be aware or to be alert in the way that you spend your money in December, because you know that you need to put some things aside for your January, especially for the school for the children returning to school. And I believe for most schools, they have given out their book list. This is the time. This weekend, next week, even though the school is still running, source out. If you don't have the money for it, try and get the costing done. Take it to the bookshop, allow them to tell you how much it is, write down that costing, and at least you know, okay, for all my children, or for this child, this is what it's going to cost me. For all my children, this is what it's going to cost me. Have those figures written out somewhere in your book, or have those figures at the back of your mind. So you know, those are the figures you cannot avoid. Those are the figures you cannot go without. For your children to go to school with the proper books and proper textbooks and proper facilities for them to go back to school with, then you need to make that sacrifice, meaning that becomes your priority. Yeah. I've noticed over the years, when I don't find the textbooks now, or I lack to get the textbooks done within the month of November or December, and I look for it in Jan, there is a high probability of that running out of stock. And most of the time, I have to wait for quite a lot of time before that comes back in stock. And not only that, if you buy the books now for this month, the cost is totally different when you buy it in January. It can be $1 up, it can be a few cents up, but it's not the same as this month. Because it's like, no one is buying school books. We're coming towards the end of the year. All these bookshops, they're not anticipating a drive of people, or a lot of people to come in asking for textbooks, because everybody's returning their textbooks back in school. They are wrapping up from school. So the cost will be very low. This is the time to buy your book list. Come January, whether you like it or not, all bookshops know that their books will sell. The number of people that we have in Fiji, that book will sell. Which means whatever cost and whatever price they put on that book, it will be bought. So this is a time for you to start working on your book list. And I believe your children have got those book lists from school, for the school that my grandchildren goes to. They've managed to give out the book list. I'm beginning to work towards the book list now, checking on their uniforms. Come these last few weeks of school, I've set aside the uniform that are still looking new for them not to use. So they are actually running within the worn out uniform until the end of the year, because the year end, and that's the end of their uniform as well. But for the ones that are still looking new, I'm keeping them to take them through to next year, because I only have 2 boys now to go back to school for next year, while the other 2 are going on to uni, or they finish off from year 13. Yeah. And when you look at your children, try and plan it that way. If you have sons, then you will know. If this bigger son go on and the uniform doesn't fit him, check on the son I know that is under, or the younger one, on how their uniform still fit, or whether you still have to, if you buy, maybe you buy 1 or 2 new ones. That's one thing that I'm doing for mine now. The 2 older ones, they were in year 13, I had a year 12, and I had a year 11 and a year 10. So now I'm trying to work with the new uniforms they've just had for the year 13, whether that can fit my year 12 for next year moving forward, which means I can save a bit of money for the budget allocation for the uniforms that I had anticipated. Now I can save a few dollars from there just by thinking out that some uniforms can still fit and can still go. And some uniforms can even take them for another term for next year if you're not willing to buy any new one. Some uniforms are still good for them to go back to school with for the first term. And then you can project that you can buy for the remaining terms of the year. So those are the things that you begin to start working through. I know it feels awkward to be thinking school while you're in the midst of Christmas, to be thinking school while you are in the midst of festivities and the holidays. But it's the most, I believe, it affects your budget, which means I'm talking to you from the budget. I'm talking to you from the, a financial standpoint, which means if you do something about it now and then you take it on to be your habit, you take it on to be your lifestyle, you take it on to be your normal every year, I guarantee, not only it gives you a good feel knowing whatever that you're doing during Christmas, whatever celebration that you're part of, you are content, you have a closure in your heart knowing my children or my grandchildren, they are all good to go to school next year. It gives a totality in feelings.
This is the time that most of the time we receive, the fund from our workplace.
Yeah.
Sometimes we call it a Christmas bonus.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just a bonus for the companies that are doing well.
Yeah.
While we still have the fund, this is the time to buy it. And as you said, because everybody is thinking about the eating, the drinking, and the celebration,